When I was 10, I got pulled out of school. I used to be a nerdy kid who loved sneaking my Game Boy onto the playground to play Pokemon with my friends, and I would spend hours a day writing stories. Now, school was actually a pretty fun place for me, but it didn't take long before I started having problems with a bully. Let's call him Mike. To paint the picture here, I used to be way shorter than the other kids, but this was not a problem for Mike, who, even though we were about the same age, was a full foot taller than I was. One day when we were on recess, he walked up and called me short, which I proceeded to call him big and dumb, or something like that. I mean, obviously the details aren't super important, right? Needless to say, Mike was mad and I started running. Knowing I was in trouble, I ran up to the jungle gym and was immediately trapped. Without saying a word, Mike grabbed me by the neck and threw me straight off onto the gravel below. Now, I wasn't really hurt, but when the teacher came, we both pretended like nothing had happened, which, seeing as she just saw the whole thing go down, didn't exactly work out. When my mom came to pick me up from school later that day, my teacher pulled me aside with her and explained that I had gotten into a fight with Mike. My mom did not like that at all and decided that I should be pulled out of school, and she started homeschooling me instead. I'm not gonna lie, I really hated it. I mean, I had friends at school, and now I hardly ever saw them. Instead, I was stuck at home studying boring books all day, as opposed to studying boring books with my friends in school every day, I guess. But what I did have were my stories. Every afternoon, the second I was done with schoolwork, I sprinted to our giant old computer and got lost writing story after story. It was all I really cared about, living out fantasies of an awesome life and dreaming about being able to write an actual book one day. This is pretty much how I spent the next few years until we finally got the glorious internet. Suddenly, I was online and there were communities of other people everywhere who were just as passionate as I was about writing, about creating these big and small stories to share with the world. For most of my teenage years, I legitimately thought I would become an author. That is, until I discovered this new website called YouTube. I started by narrating my stories and uploading them to share with the friends I had made online, and it felt just like it had when I discovered other people who had shared my love of writing. Video just felt so new, it was just different, and it was exciting. It was just a really fun time. Before long, one of my online friends pointed me in a different direction, tech videos. I loved tech since my very first Game Boy, and the idea that I could use my incredibly basic video skills got me amped. I jumped headfirst into making YouTube videos every spare minute I had, all of which conveniently without, mentioning this to my parents. After about a year and over 100 videos, I was finally accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, and I was able to proudly tell my parents that I had my first job as a YouTuber. Then, of course, I had to explain to them what YouTube was, but, well, that kind of worked out, I guess. Sometimes I think back to that day on the playground and wonder how different my life would have been if I hadn't gotten in that fight. As sad as I was being homeschooled, I honestly don't think I'd be the person I am today without the time to really focus on my passion. But I mean, who knows, right?